Anti-American violence spread beyond the Middle East this weekend. This protest took place in Indonesia, world's largest Muslim nation, where rioters clashed with police outside the U.S. Embassy. They were turned away by police with tear gas and water cannons. And in Pakistan, a country we still call an ally, wink, wink, nod, nod, protesters clashed with police for a second day as they tried to breach the gates of the U.S. consulate. Now, while these protests may have been sparked by a poorly made film that's full of religious hate speech, the growing crisis has put foreign policy back in the spotlight, an issue, let's be honest, not many of us thought we'd be talking about this close to the election. And it has also highlighted the differences between the Obama administration and some of our closest allies in the region. Yesterday on ABC's This Week, Susan Rice, ambassador to the UN, she had this to say on the attack in Libya that killed the American envoy, Chris Stevens.
But our current best assessment, based on the information that we have at present, is that in fact what this began as was a spontaneous, not a premeditated, response to what had transpired in Cairo.
Now, at that exact moment, down the dial on CBS, the president of Libya said the exact opposite regarding that same attack on the U.S. Embassy.
The way these perpetrators acted and moved, I think they're choosing the specific date for this so-called demonstration. I think this leaves us with no doubt that this is pre-planned, predetermined.
Now, you got a lot of complaints here from Team Romney and conservatives. The White House has mishandled the situation. But Frank, I'll start with you. What exactly, thousands of miles away in Washington, could anybody in the Oval Office do differently about a situation, obviously some of it with a film, obviously not of its own creation, and then the unfolding situation where it was a planned attack, let's say, on an embassy? What could anyone in the Oval Office have done differently?
Well, first, in terms of what Susan Rice said, I think she's absolutely wrong in that this was a spur-of-the-moment thing. If it was a spur-of-the-moment thing, these thugs driven by this radical Muslim ideology
would... I probably agree with you.
Okay, wouldn't have showed up with rocket-propelled grenades. What could the president have done? Well, number one is, especially if the reports that there was some advance notice of threats to embassies are true, then the security at this embassy seems completely inadequate for the situation that was happening in Libya, number one. Number two is the Libyan government, which our country, through our intervention in Libya, helped prop up and put into power, is completely unable to deal with these extremists in this country. They can't even disarm them from rocket-propelled grenades. So I think this underscores what a mistake intervention in Libya was. Everyone was cheering when we got rid of Muammar Gaddafi. And then, to answer your question, though, what could we have done? Let's look at what we've done since then. We've recalled our ambassador from Tunisia because it appears that we can't protect him there. Christopher Stevens was woefully inadequately protected.
Okay, but here's my question that then the next logical thing is, we have no shortages of hot spots to pick from. And I'm hearing calls from John McCain and other Republicans that they want us to get involved in Syria.
Syria, Iran,
yes, that's our next one. Now they want us to go bomb Iran.
Libya, you name it.
So I don't still hear, I'm agreeing with you 100% of what you said. If we got advance notice, we should have beefed up security more than we could have at the embassies. But beyond that, and beyond that tragedy, my question still comes down to, on a foreign policy front, the president says he doesn't call Egypt an ally. They're not an enemy, doesn't know what they are. And even if we pull back $2 billion, what really can we do different? We can't control the Middle East as much as people would love to believe we can.
Well, I think
what
you do
would
have,
we do?
That $1 billion a year that we are giving to Egypt, I do have to think you have to attach a few more strings to it than we are. It seems that there is, whether this is just the public perception.
What strings would you like?
Well, so, you know, the fact that they're not an ally in the president's own words, and we're still giving them $1 billion. Well, they better start acting like an ally if we're giving you that amount of money. But one of the things that's nice about this is I think it has put foreign policy back on the front burner and force both the American people and the candidates to focus on it again, which is a healthy thing.
Tom, when we come back, we're going to keep this conversation going. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be right back.